Recording in progress.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
This is Peacemakers Production. My name is Micaela Cuellar.
I'm Gonzalo
And we have
Cuellar.
online.
And I'm Alejandro Gonzalez.
Okay. So today we're going to share a book that I felt really led to share with others. And it's called The Battlefield of the Mind for Teens. So we're going to go ahead and start sharing this on a weekly basis. And we're going to dive right in. Okay.
All right.
So chapter 1 is called, This is Your Mind in a Battle. Now in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12 says, For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Okay, so that's scripture. Now I'm going to read the first chapter, and it says, Are you feeling a little tired lately, confused, depressed, kicked around? It's no wonder you're in a war. However, your war isn't a conventional battle that can be fought with conventional weapons. Take a look at the scripture that begins this chapter. This warfare isn't with other human beings, not your arch enemics at school, not your teachers, not your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, not even your parents. Your enemy is Satan himself. The ex-angel turned evil, or turned devil, I'm sorry, and his demonic forces.
Well, he did turn
The
evil.
amplified version of the Bible calls them master spirits. Satan's coming after you with a careful, crafted plan of attack, one you might not even see coming. In fact, you might not even believe you're in a war at all. That's one of your enemy's best tricks, deception. Satan is a liar. Jesus called him the father of lies and of all that is false. John chapter 8, verse 44, the Amplified Bible. Here are some of the deceptive lines which he'll use as he tries to control your mind. How many of them have you heard in one form or another? You don't need to listen to your parents, your pastor, your youth leaders, and all those other people who try to tell you how to live. I mean, look at them, those incompetent hypocrites. Look at all their faults or all their flaws and inconsistency. This is your life. Live it your way. Drinking, drugs, and sex won't really hurt you. All those horror stories won't happen to you. It's just a big scare tactic. Adults just don't want you to have any fun, even though they had plenty when they were your age. They just want to control you. Do you really believe in the devil? Some red-skinned bald dude with a ponytail and pitchfork? An intelligent person like you? Get real, that's a myth. There is no devil, and there is no hell. And by the way, there is no God or heaven either. Right now is all there is, so get yours while you can.
Well, that's what they teach in the world, to live in the moment, don't worry about tomorrow, think about yourself and, take care of yourself.
Right? And then there's two more. Come on, admit it. You have doubts about God all the time. If God was real, why would he allow those doubts to creep up inside your head? If there really was a God, who cared? Would you feel as lonely as you do, as overwhelmed by life as you do, as powerless to change things? So those are the thoughts, some of the thoughts that, only a few, that the devil feeds us. So it goes on and says, or is there any thoughts on those? Ali, did you Was any of those things relatable or to you that you can
I mean, they're relatable for mostly everyone, I think.
a little bit louder? I can hardly hear you.
I
Please.
think they're relatable for almost everybody.
Mm.
Having
Okay.
doubts about God, having doubts
Yes.
about, you know, oh, mostly like, especially judging people. A lot of people,
Yes.
they don't like to take advice or criticism because
Mm-hmm.
they see the flaws in other people rather than see them in themselves, and
Or they judge them from the past,
they try and
you
feel
know?
righteous about or higher that they can't take any criticism from someone who's below them in their eyes,
Yeah.
who's flawed. They only want to, they have a feeling, they say that they don't want to admit their flaws because then they'll admit that they're not perfect, you know.
Yeah.
Some people when they try and help them, they'll say, oh well, you did this and you did this. They'll try and bring up stuff and act like they don't have any flaws, which is
Which brings me to a
Yeah,
scripture in mind. Oh, go ahead, Gonzalo, while I try to find it.
yeah. It's like
Because
sometimes when we point out things about other people, they want to turn it. They want to turn it back on you. That's what I get. Like, well, I'm just talking about like they want to turn it back on you to divert attention from themselves, so they can blame it back on you or someone else to kind of not take the heat. You get what I'm
okay, I
saying?
found it. Thank you, Lord. And this is what Alejandro was talking about, reminded me of Proverbs chapter 12, verse 1 says, whoever loves instruction loves knowledge, but he who hates correction is stupid.
Hmm.
Sorry, that's a new King James version I
Yeah.
read.
Well,
So
we
I'm
all
sorry,
need
but that's what
correction.
came to my mind. That verse I remember, and I'm like, I couldn't help but laugh about, well, I didn't even know the word stupid was in the Bible. So, okay, so
Right.
let's move forward. Have you ever felt like someone was um peppering your mind with questions and concerns like these? That's how Satan works. He plants all kinds of nagging thoughts, suspicions, and doubts in your mind. He moves slowly according to his well-laid plans for you. Always remember that when it comes to destroying your life, Satan has a custom tailored battle strategy just for you. He has studied you for a long time, and he's going to attack you where you're weak, where you're curious, and where you're inconsistent.
Hmm.
For example, he knows your insecurities. If you are self-conscious about your physical appearance, the devil might devise a plan to bring someone into your life who tells you that you're hot, someone who makes you feel attractive. Then this person you've welcomed into your life might start to pressure you for sex. You you know you shouldn't, but you don't want to risk losing someone who makes you feel so good about yourself. So now Satan can sit back and watch you squirm. He's put his secret weapon in place. He has time and your raging hormones on his side. He knows that you can't click on the TV power. I'm gonna read that again. He knows that you can't click on the TV, power up your computer, or open a magazine without seeing sexual content of some sort. In parentheses, for example, there are more than 4 million pornographic websites on the internet, which they're probably way more than that because this book is written a while back. He'll invest as much time as it takes to bring you down. The devil is short in a lot of areas, but patient isn't one of them. He has patience to spare. Unfortunately for you, you're not going to battle unarmed. The Bible, God's holy message, assures you For the weapons of our warfare are not physical, parentheses, the weapons of flesh and blood, but they are mighty before God for the overthrow and the destruction of strongholds, inasmuch as we refute arguments and theories and reasoning and every proud and lofty thing that sets itself up against the true knowledge of God. And we lead every thought and purpose away captive into the obedience of Christ, parenthesis, the Messiah, the anointed one. And you can find this in 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4 through 5. Now let me go to that, because it sounds a little confusing with that, like it kind of blended in together. So what is 2 Corinthians 2? Can someone find it before me? Let's see who finds it first.
We'll race.
2 Corinthians chapter 10. I think I might beat you guys. 4 through 5 says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty in God for pulling down strongholds, casting down arguments, and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. Now I'm reading this from the New King James Version again. So that's what that's saying, okay? Any thoughts on what I read?
Not really.
Did you understand that, Ollie?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now you might be asking yourself, what are these strongholds that I'm supposed to overthrow and destroy? Think of it this way. Satan wants to play you like a video game, conquering one level at a time. Let's go back to our sexual temptation example. Satan's not going to try to turn you from a pure person into a promiscuous, out of control sex addict overnight. No, he's much more likely to get you interested in a sexual, suggestive, yet mainstream movie, the kind that's in movie theaters and on basic cable TV all the time. Or maybe an internet chat room where the conversation occasionally, but not all the time, turns inappropriate. Next, you might find yourself visiting websites you shouldn't, or taking your interest in suggestive movies to the next level, graduating from typical cable fare to pay-per-view stuff that turns up that sexual heat. And so it goes. The same kind of thing happens with drugs, drinking, cheating, and lying. How many of your friends have you heard lying to their parents via telephone about where they are, whom they are with, and what they are doing? Those lies most likely were probably more, I don't know, what's this word? INNOCUOUS. How do you say that? How do you pronounce that? INNOUC in what? I don't know.
Omnivorous? I don't know.
I don't know.
INNOCUOUS. How do you pronounce that word?
Innocent? I don't know. I don't know.
Inoculant?
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's move on. By the way. But I know,
Okay,
like when I was younger as a teen, we my cousins and I were up to no good, and a parent would call, or we'd have to check in at certain times. Everybody would kind of like, everyone would kind of like lie about where they were at because everybody was up to no good, and like it was like it would kind of go around and it'd be like everyone's turn to like, all right, now I've got to check in with my mom and dad and tell them, or like though, we would make up stories about what happened, that really didn't happen.
Innocuous. That's what the word is. Innocuous. I never heard that word before, but anyways. Yeah, that's good. That's a good share, Gonzalo. Thank you for sharing that. We've all been there. So I doubt anyone could say they never did. Okay, so where was I? We're probably more innocuous at first, like, sure, mom, I ate breakfast this morning. Or honest, dad, we weren't assigned any homework this weekend. But those level 1 lies soon became level 2 and so on. Are you beginning to see Satan's sneaky war strategy? Is it scaring you at least a little? Good. Every good soldier approaches battle with a heightened sense of awareness. Only a fool would charge into a war and not be aware of what is at stake. Okay, so, and then it says the dirty dozen, 12 ways today's teens are losing the battle for their minds and for their lives. Okay, first one, almost half of all 9th through 12th graders have had sex, including 61% of high school seniors, and teens who watch lots of sex on TV are more than twice as likely to have sex as those who are more discerning about their TV viewing. 2, nearly half of people under the age of 21 who drink alcohol binge drink. Binge drinking is defined as having 5 or more drinks on one occasion. More than 500,000 young people are unintentionally injured every year while under the influence of alcohol, and about 1,500 of this number die as a direct result of alcohol abuse, such as alcohol poisoning. 3, 73% of teens say they see at least one act of discrimination a month, but only 22% speak up and do something about it. Parents and teens, really? So it's gotta, okay, so where was I? 4, parents and teens are not on the same page or even in the same book when it comes to sex. While half of today's teens are sexually active, 84% of parents believe their kids are not sexually active. Meanwhile, 87% of teens say it would be easier to delay sex if they could have more open, honest talks with parents. 5, 1 in 6 of today's young females are drunk when they lose their virginity. 1 in 7 say their partner was drunk as well. 6, all right, just a second.
I mean, well, people, especially young people, they lose control easier while drinking because, for one, you're young and your system isn't. It's not. Your tolerance is low, and so it's easier to get messed up being younger because your body's smaller, and how it affects adults is like less of an impact than how it affects teens.
Sadly, I lost my virginity when I was drunk. I can openly admit that. And to me, I thought, oh, it was special, this was going to be the one, and which it was the one because I didn't marry him. But honestly, I wish it didn't go that way. That I wish I understood the value of staying a virgin, okay? And so anyways, I could relate to that. that part. Okay, so where was I? I'm sorry, I had to close the window. All right, so number 6 we're at. The United States has the highest STD and teen pregnancy rates in the developed world. In fact, the US rate of teen pregnancy is double that of any other industrialized nation. 7 is the third leading cause of death, or suicide is the third leading cause of death among Americans ages 15 to 24. 8, more than 4 million teens become infected with an STD each year. 9, almost 1 in 4 eighth graders has tried huffing using household chemicals like paint thinner or
Mm,
type corrector to get high. 10,
yeah.
every year in the United States, more than 800,000 girls 19 and under get pregnant. 11, the average age at which teens start taking drugs is 13. And 12, among sexual active high school seniors, more than 21% have had 4 or more sex partners.
Mm. Let me tell you one
All
thing
right.
about huffing. That kills your brain cells far faster than anything else, in my opinion. Yeah, it is like because you can read the warning labels on that. Like it can cause severe, irreversible brain damage.
Well,
And yeah,
Well, ma,
I guess I was surprised about that.
well, ma, uh, I'd like to see. I know that's probably out there, but I'd like to see the stats for the world because the in you know how it says the what America is leading in STD and teen pregnancy.
Yeah, these are
In
probably
the
not accurate at all right now because
no,
it's
it's
supposed
probably
to
yeah,
be.
higher. Mm.
I know, but no, I'm saying but that it's said in the industrialized world, so it doesn't count under developed countries because it's gone really bad there where it's become a norm to get married at what you know how arranged marriages and stuff
Mhm.
become a norm to childbear at 16 and a lot of these women get raped in the arranged marriages because they're arranged,
Mhm.
Right.
so I
I'm
wouldn't.
just industrialized definition mean. What does that mean?
Oh, it just means like advanced countries, developed countries basically.
Okay, yeah, you're right. A country or
Oh,
a region widely developed in industries.
so like if we were to that is just like what America versus Australia. Of course, America's. If you put America stats of teen pregnancy versus Australia, yeah, America is definitely gonna be higher. Probably because there's more teen pregnancy here, but another reason could be is we have a larger population.
Right.
So, but what what
So so Ollie, so
what?
what do you think of all this? You're a teenager living in this world today. So are you really surprised of any of this stuff that I've shared so far?
Probably not. Yeah, I don't think I really am.
Why is that?
Well, mostly it's been talked about everywhere, mostly in church and school, about how don't get pregnant underage, STDs, all that's been discussed in church and school.
Now, for me, I want to share for me and my age or my generation that they still carry on that today where about the sex education. my parents would not allow me to attend those sex education. And I think that was like in 4th grade. They're already pushing that. And for me, I'm really thankful. I'm really thankful in a way because I didn't need to know about that. Like, what do I need to know about how to put on condoms
Mm.
and all that stuff?
It's
I don't need to
because,
know that.
well, it's because it's been so normalized about how teen pregnancy is out of control. So, and they try and do damage control by saying if you have sex, at least wear protection. But
Right.
Yeah, but for the kids who don't know about sex or what it is, then they've introduced it to them now. And now
Exactly.
that they introduce it to them, oh, now that you know about sex, here's a way to stay safe.
well, sex is
Now you
everywhere.
open, now you open the curiosity. Yeah,
Mhm.
everywhere, but you don't need to feed your mind into it. You don't have to feed into it just because it's there, you know? And it does, and we can control that part by what we watch, what we do, you
Yeah.
know?
And yeah,
It-
it's about what the parents watch. The kids are gonna see it. They might not think the kids are paying attention, but they are. They're always paying attention.
Well, I know if you can just in the grocery store, the magazines, you
right.
can, it's everywhere.
Yeah, because they use sex or
Tabloids,
sex appeal to sell products.
yeah,
It's worse today than ever. It
and
really is. It's like a
commercials.
norm today.
It's like for cars,
It's
makeup, clothes, everything. It's treadmills, whatever, speakers, computers. Don't matter what it is. Yeah,
You know, I'm kind of shocked that, like, for me, like, I've heard people lose their virginity at very young ages, like, and doing drugs at a very, very young age. So when I read this, I was like, wow, like, I known people even younger to have already had used or had sex or whatever, you know.
well,
And
drugs
when
is. Oh, sorry, Kaya.
no, go ahead.
To me, drugs is even more. I wouldn't say advertised, but I'd say like exposed than sex.
So more
And
drugs are exposed than sex, you say?
yeah, to me, I'd say that it's easier to find out about drugs than it is sex. I know that no matter what, because you can look, you have kids pretending like they're drugs with just sugar or something. And it's a lot more common to know about drugs than it is sex, even when you're younger.
yeah. Like when I was younger, me and my cousins, we would roll up pieces of paper, and then we would act like we were smoking a joint and passing it to each other because that's what we
And
saw our
well,
dads do.
and then before and then before, not recently because they got discontinued. There's candy cigarettes.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up.
Yeah,
Yeah, they still got those?
I used to take those too, candy cigarettes.
They're
They still got those,
they're hard to
Ollie?
get. Oh well, no, they're hard to get. They're not sold in any like gas station or normal place you'd buy candy.
Yeah, I used to love those things.
For I mean, it's
It tastes
understandable
that
why they
good.
got. No, they taste terrible. I had one because
Yeah, so it was all for show. It was all like to
yeah.
pretend.
Well, it's because smoking was a lot more popular back then, and you see as kids see their parents,
Mhm.
they wanna join in. So that's why the
Mhm.
whole candy cigarettes
Hey, you
was.
know what?
Yeah.
I I think about, like, this is like, I think the devil, I know that the devil likes to put this thought in our head, and all kids, like, we think we're missing out on life because we see what our parents are doing. If they're partying, if they're having a good time, if they're going whatever, we feel like we're missing out on something, you know. But if you think about it, like for myself, I had already done everything before 21. What was there to look forward
Right.
to? I had
Yeah.
already drank. I had
Mhm.
already been smoking weed and all that. So it was
Mhm.
like, what did we have really to look forward to by the time we hit 21?
Nothing, really. just, you know, partying at a young age and having less responsibility than an adult would.
And what are we doing now? It's like we're like, we have a blind eye to our children of what they do and just say, you know, like everything they do is okay. Like, yes,
Mm.
go ahead, keep doing that because I did it. It's okay, you know, and we want to be their best friends instead of be a parent and be like, you know, and 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 give them direction. But then again, we can't be blind leading the blind. You know what I'm saying? That we got to wake up. We got to, you
Mm.
know, really look at it, what we are promoting and what we are bringing into our household and showing our children, you
Right,
know.
right. Any final thoughts, Alejandro, before we sign off?
No, not really.
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
so what's the name of
Oh,
this
wait,
book again for the viewers?
wait a minute. So let me quickly, got less than a minute. So, okay, let's look at what we've learned so far. 1, you are enraged in a war. 2, Satan is your enemy. 3, your own mind is the battleground. 4, the devil will work diligently to establish strongholds in your mind, conquering the territory piece by piece, just like a master gamer conquers a video game. 5, the devil works to achieve victory by strategy and deceit, battle plans and lies. One of his best lies is to convince you that he doesn't exist. And 6, your enemy is in no hurry. He's going to take his time. He doesn't need to win now. He just wants to win in the end.
Mm.
Wow.
That's
So it's
it.
Battlefield of the Mind for teens, right?
Yes. Chapter
Right.
1.
Okay, everybody.
Called,
So be sure to tune in next time when we'll have more of this.
yeah, we're
So
going to chapter 2, but look out for other videos. We're gonna be
just remember,
putting out.
like,
We're gonna
subscribe,
share this.
share.
Yes, we're gonna put out every
Peacemakersproduction.org.
week. Every week. So look out for it. God bless. Hope you guys got something out of this.
Yep.
Bye.
God bless.
Bye.
Bye.